G'day guys and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video, we are predicting the final 5 rounds of the NRL. So we'll go through this round by round, we'll have a look and see what the ladder's looking like after each week. And then we will predict the finals. So if you enjoy this type of content guys and you're not subscribed, please hit that sub button. Leave this video a couple of thumbs up. And comment down below your thoughts. But let's get into it, guys, starting with Roosters and Manly. So for the Roosters, look, I'm basing this off my tips. So if you see my tips, you know how this first week's going to go. So, look, I think Manly can cause an upset, but I'm going to go the Roosters in this one by 4. I think it'll be relatively close, and the Roosters will definitely want to keep that finals push alive. However, I do doubt that they'll make it. Next up, we got the Warriors and the Titans at Seabus. Look, I think the Warriors win this one 13 plus, so they're getting an 18-point win there for me. They keep their top 4 hopes alive with that win there. Next up, we got the Panthers against the Storm. This one, I think, will be a very close game. I'm going Panthers by 4 in that one. Cowboys and Broncos. If Valentine Holmes is ruled out, and I'd say he probably will be, this is being recorded on Monday night, though, guys. So if whatever's happened in the meantime, then I do, it is what it is. But yeah, it's probably not going to get uploaded till later on in the week. So we've got Cowboys and Broncos. I think the Broncos get this one done by 8. Regardless of if Val Holmes plays or not, I think the Broncos will still be too strong. Next up, we've got the Dolphins and the Knights. I think the Knights win this one and win it quite comfortably. I really do think that they're going to push for that top 8 spot. This game is over in Perth, so neither side really has a home ground advantage, I guess you could say. So I think that really helps the Knights a bit in that one. All right, next up, we've got the Rabbitohs and the Sharks. Look, I personally think the Rabbitohs win this one 13 plus. I really do. I think they're going to get a strong win there over the Sharks. I'm very confident about that. Next up, we've got the Eels and the Dragons. Look, I think the Eels bounce back in a big way, getting a good win over St. George. I'm tipping them by 30 points there. And finally, we've got the Raiders and the Tigers. I think Raiders win this one by 12. Bulldogs have the bye. So we look at the ladder after round 23. Not too much changes for this one. Cowboys drop out, Sharks drop out, Knights and Eels go in. All right, so next up we've got Manly against the Panthers. I don't see the Panthers losing this one. I think they'll get we'll go 18, a convincing win there over the Seagulls. We've got the Sharks and the Titans next at PointsBet. I do think the Sharks win this one. I'm going to say by about 4. I think they'll be too strong there for the Titans. Broncos and Eels, look, at the Gabba, definitely could go either way, but I just can't see the Broncos losing that one. We'll go Broncos by 12. Barlow Park up in Cairns. Rabbitohs love playing at Barlow Park. I actually really enjoy the stadium. I know a lot of people don't like it. Some people would say it's a glorified track and field stadium, but I actually really didn't mind it the couple of times I've been there. So Rabbitohs in this one, the one time I've been there, not the couple. Calm down. I think the Rabbitohs win and win well in this one. I'm going to say a 30-point win there for the boys. Tigers and Warriors. This one is being played in New Zealand. I think the Warriors put an absolute clinic on. Roosters and Dolphins at Allianz. I think the Roosters win that one. We'll go by 12. I do think they get the job done there. Storm and the Raiders. I think Storm win that one. I think it'll be relatively close, though. I don't think it'll be a blowout. Raiders can turn up against the Storm, so I am tipping the Storm in that one. And then finally, we've got the Knights and the Bulldogs. Look, I think the Knights will go on a massive tear late in the season. I think Knights win that one, and Cowboys have the bye. So after 24 rounds, the changes this week, not too many to really talk about. It's still roughly the same. Sharks go back up into the top 8. I believe the Eels drop out now. So there's a lot of movement down the bottom of the ladder, but the Knights are definitely keeping their top 8 hopes alive. Cowboys and Sharks in the first one. Look, being at North Queensland, I think the Cowboys win this one. We'll go by 18. I reckon they get a pretty convincing win there. Warriors and Manly, I think the Warriors get a really good win over the Seagulls. Eels and Roosters at CommBank, I think the Eels do win that one. Tigers and the Dolphins. I generally think the Tigers could cause an upset here, but I'm going to go to the Dolphins by 8. Going the safe tip there. I think the Dolphins should get that one done. Titans and Panthers. Look, I think the Panthers put on an absolute clinic in that one. I know the Titans don't mind at Seabus. Obviously, their home ground, but I just think Panthers will be too good for most teams late in the season. Dragons and Storm in the last of the Saturday games here. I think Storm put on a clinic here. Big win for them. Knights and Rabbitohs. All bias aside, to be honest, I think the Knights win this. I'm going to say the Knights win this. I'm going to say they win it in a close one. They're getting that momentum at the right time this season. I really think that they can win this game in a close one. I'm tipping the Knights in that one. Raiders in a decent win there over the Bulldogs, and Broncos have the bye. So after round 25, this is what the ladder looks like. Not too many changes in that top 8 again. Cowboys move back up, Eels back out. Outside of that, no real changes. The only teams that really have a shot at this top 8 now are the Sharks and the Eels. Roosters will get fairly close to that 8, but yeah, they won't get in there. All right, Panthers and Eels, straight up. Panthers with a really good win here, I think. Oh, maybe not that much. The Eels do get... We'll go 12. Eels do tend to give them a tough time, so I think that's probably a good tip there. Warriors and Dragons. Now, this one I think will be definitely one-sided. Warriors by 30 in that one. Dolphins and Cowboys at Suncorp Stadium. I think this is a game the Dolphins can win, but I'm going to back the Cowboys in by 4. Storm and Titans. Storm should win that one. We'll go by 12 points. Roosters and Tigers. I think Roosters win this one and win it quite comfortably. So, look, Roosters come close, but they're not making the 8. Raiders and Broncos at GIO Stadium. I am going... I hope that's not showing on screen, because if it is, then I'm just doing a bit of a clean up of the computer. The Raiders beat the Broncos earlier on in the season in Brisbane. Do I think the Raiders can win this one? I think it'll be tough. I just think the Broncos are in another level at the moment. I think I'm tipping the Broncos. Definitely a bold pick there, but yeah, I think I'm picking the Broncos. Bulldogs and Manly at a call. I'm going to tip an upset here and go the Dogs in a close one. I know, big call, but I reckon the Doggers can get it done. Knights, I think, will get a good win here over the Sharks, and the Rabbitohs have the bye. So what we're looking at here, top 4 is 100% locked in. There's only one round to go, so top 4 is a lock. Knights, Rabbitohs, Cowboys, and Raiders are pretty much just fighting for home finals at this point. So, yeah, that's your top 8, but we've got to do the final round. So, Broncos can't move down. Storm can't move up. I think both sides rest players. I'm going to tip the Broncos because it just seems to be the logical thing to do. But, yeah, we'll go Broncos by 4. I think it's the logical thing to do there, tipping the Broncos. Sea Eagles and Tigers. I think Manly win that. We'll go by 12. Rabbitohs still pushing for that home final, so I do think they get a decent win in this one. I'll go 18. I know the Roosters fans will come chirp and say, 18 plus, 13 plus, you're crazy. No, I think the Rabbitohs win that one comfortably. Dolphins and Warriors. Look, I think the Warriors rest players, especially if they've got the for and against that they do. I would probably say Dolphins might win that one at Suncorp. I reckon the Warriors would rest a huge amount of players. Panthers and Cowboys. I reckon Panthers don't rest players if they want to win the minor premiership. I reckon they don't. So I'm going to say Panthers win that one. They might rest a couple, but I reckon they'll still go fairly full strength. Knights and Dragons. Look, I think the Knights win this. I really do. I think the Knights win that. The only game that I don't think the Knights would win, or there's a potential they won't win, is against the Rabbitohs. I have said they will in this one, but it is a game that I definitely could see either side winning. So that's the Knights locked in there. Titans and Bulldogs. I mean, the loser goes to 15th, but I think the Titans and Seabus, I reckon they're going to give their fans a really good win late in the season there. So Titans getting up by 30, and then Sharks and Raiders. Sharks horrible at home. Sharks horrible against top 8 sides. They just can't beat them. I see the Raiders winning that one. So the top 8 is Panthers, Broncos, Warriors, and Storm in the top 4. Knights, Rabbitohs, Raiders, and Cowboys make up 5 through to 8. So very interesting stuff here. Panthers and Broncos both get home finals. Knights and Rabbitohs get home finals as well. Panthers and Storm, I think will be very, very close. But like I'm saying this week, I think Panthers get the job done there. Knights and Cowboys, I really think the Knights win this one. So I am going to back Newcastle at home there. Rabbitohs and Raiders in the next one. I generally see a world where the Raiders could upset us, but I'm pretty confident once we hit finals, we'll go into the next gear. I'm backing the Rabbitohs in that one. And then I think, Warriors fans, I am so sorry, but I can't see the Broncos losing in the week 1 of the finals. I really think this Broncos team is legit. I know I didn't have them in my top 8 at the start of the year, which was idiotic by me. But I do think this Broncos team is the real deal. All right, finals week 2. We've got Storm against Newcastle and Warriors against Rabbitohs. Now, I can see a world where there is an upset in one of these games. For the Knights, they did beat Storm earlier this year, or only a few weeks ago, actually. I believe that was played in Newcastle, though. So I think this is definitely a game that Storm will win. Going Storm in that one. Warriors and Rabbitohs. Look, the Rabbitohs have beaten the Warriors over in New Zealand once this year. Do I think they could do it again? Absolutely, I do. I really do believe that the Rabbitohs can do it again. But it's, I don't know. I want to take the bias out of it, but I'm honestly, but look, I'm going to take the bias out of it, and I am going to pick the Warriors, but I do honestly believe that the Rabbitohs can win the premiership this year. I honestly still do. I will say that every day of the week, but I am tipping the Warriors to win this one. All right, then we have the preliminary finals. Panthers against the Warriors. It'll be probably, I don't know if it will be played at the Panthers home ground or if it'll just be at like Allianz Stadium or a core. I'm not 100% sure. I know they used to play it just in the state, so I don't know exactly. But regardless, I do think Panthers are the team to beat this year. Then next up, we got the Broncos and Storm. This one would be a tough game to pick as well. I definitely think it could go either way. But again, I think the Broncos are the real deal this year also. All right, and then we got the grand final. The final 2 teams, the Panthers and the Broncos. I know I haven't gone left field here. Haven't gone any upsets. It's pretty much been all the favourites all the way through. But if I'm being honest here, I think if there's any team that can beat the Panthers, it is the Broncos. I really believe that. But I think the Panthers win it all. They're my grand final selections, guys. I think we are about to see a three-peat. As much as I'd hate to see it, I can't see it going any other way. I think Panthers three-peat this year. Let me know your predictions down below, though. Do you think that the Panthers three-peat? Do you think one of the other top 8 sides can stop them? I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know down below. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.